Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Pete Olson, the Montana Silver Stacker. It is Thursday, June 2nd, and got a great video for you today. I had stumbled across some information on Warren Buffett on his top 10 rules for success. And I just had to share them with you guys because Warren Buffett is single-handedly the greatest investor in the world, the greatest investor of the 20th century, but one of the most successful people ever in the history of the world. I don't even know where he is. Is he number one on the wealth list overall or number two? He's in the top group. But he runs so many successful companies. He runs Berkshire Hathaway owns so many successful companies, or major stockholder in many. He really has the key formulas for what it takes to be successful, not only in business but in life. He's an incredible person to boot. Very modest person. And so I wanted to share these with you because I think they're so apropos for everybody. We all can learn from these. So these are the top 10 rules for success from Warren Buffett. And the first and foremost thing he talks about is find your passion. And that's true with anything in life. You want to be successful, really find what you're passionate about. You are not going to do well if you are working in an environment or in a field that you really don't care about, right? But if you're passionate about something, if you're passionate about bugs and animals, you're probably, being a biologist would probably be a pretty good thing for you. My daughter is studying biology because she freaking loves animals. That's her passion. She wouldn't do well doing what I do in sales, right? It just wouldn't go. So find your passion, because when you find your passion, you find your true meaning of what you're doing here on this planet, and what you're meant to do, and what you're meant to bring to others. Okay, so find your passion. Very, very important. His second tip for success is hire well. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, if you don't hire well, employees-wise, if that affects you, or you could be in a corporation, you could be responsible for hiring people in your department, right? If you don't hire well, what happens? Well, it takes more time, more money, more resources, more energy to redo it again and get someone new and get them on board and trained, and think of all the money lost, et cetera, et cetera. So it's better to do it the right time. Really take your time, making sure you have the right person that's the right fit, making sure that they are, as a person, ready for that position and are qualified and really ready not only to do the position, but take it to a whole new level. So if you take your time and you hire well, boy, it saves you a lot of heartache, right? So that's success tip number 2. Number 3, he talks about not caring. Don't care about what other people think. You need to do what you need to do, right? And be true to who yourself is. You can't worry about how the Joneses are doing it or how some other business is doing it. Doesn't mean you can't learn, but it just means that you got to be true to yourself and how you operate things and how you like to do things, et cetera, et cetera. So don't care about what other people think, and truly be true to yourself, and work it the best way that you think is the best fit for you. And that's very, very important. So that's success tip number 3. Number 4, the fourth rule for success from Warren Buffett. He always says, read, read, read. And I don't do a great job of that. I got to improve on that. He's reading a book all day long. I mean, he just absorbs information. Ty Lopez is another guy, just reads and reads and reads and reads and reads a book a day. And you pick up so many phenomenal things, and you're always learning. Well, if you're always learning, you have so many new great tips and nuggets to apply. And I always say, guys, if you can get one nugget from a book, it's worth $1 million, right? One great nugget that you can take and apply, it's worth it. So read, read, read. And I making a promise that I'm going to do a better job of reading, okay? I do a lot of researching, but I should also be reading too. It's such a great tool, and it's not that I don't have time. We all have time. I got to make time for it and make it important enough to make time. Make sense? So number 5, Warren Buffett's 5th rule for success is he talks about having a margin of safety. And what he means by that is don't step on the gas pedal at 180 miles per hour the whole time. The example that he uses is if you're driving a truck and the sign on the road says weight limit 20,000 tons. I'm just making this up, right? And your truck is 19,800 tons. Man, that's really not a big margin for safety, for error, if you will. It'd be better if you drove in that road that allowed a capacity of 30,000 tons. Make sense? So don't always push the limit. Don't always taking huge risks. You gotta be able to have a margin of safety for yourself and your business, so that if something goes wrong, you don't lose everything, right? You have that margin of safety, and that's important. And bottom line, guys, it just means, don't run around with your hair on fire 24/7. You want to have that margin of safety, so things can go wrong, that if they do go wrong, you're not completely wiped out, okay? Number 6, have a competitive advantage, okay? Have a competitive advantage, and that means a lot of things. Whatever that is for you in your product, make sure you guys are doing things a little bit differently than the next guy, your competitor, right? You don't want to have the same product doing the same thing. I'll give you an example. I've been a golf product consultant for a lot of years. I owned that business for 17 years, and I would get samples all the time from companies that, let's say they had a swing trainer. Well, I would ask them, what's different about this swing trainer than the 10 others that are in that category that I've seen in the last 2 months? Well, I really don't know. It's just a good trainer. Well, that's not good enough. You got to have something different. You got to have that competitive advantage, right? It's got to be different. It's got to be unique. And then when it comes to you've got to have the competitive advantage. Are you willing to 10x it? Are you willing to work when others aren't willing to work? Are you willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do? Are you willing to be creative and try new things that other people aren't willing to try? Have the competitive advantage. I can tell you, in my business, I'm in the direct sales network marketing business, and I'm willing to work harder and make dials on Saturday and make more dials when everyone's tired. I'm going to make more dials and talk to more people, which means more closes. What is your competitive advantage, right? I've got a great system set up, so that's another great competitive advantage. What is yours? Find that out, okay? He talks, number 7, his 7th rule for success. He talks about scheduling for your personality. And what I found interesting is that Warren Buffett doesn't do meetings. He hates meetings. Hates them. So what he does is he researches all day. He reads all day. He sources capital for his companies all day long. Answers any particular, takes calls, if you will, and answers any particular questions or problems. And but that works his personality. If you're someone that likes to interact and have meetings and organize things and square things away and get this team together and that team together, then by all means do that. But schedule for your personality. If you're kind of more of a loner and you like to delegate, well, do that. If you're more hands-on, be more hands-on. But schedule your life and your business towards your personality and how you like to run the ship. Okay, does that make the sense? It doesn't have to be your company. It could be your department, right? Your managerial team, whatever the case may be. Number 8, he always talks about, and it kind of touched on it before, but his 8th tip for success, rules for success, I should say, is always be competing. Guys, that goes without saying, right? You got to bring it every single day, because if you're not bringing it, your competitor is. So when I'm just giving you personal examples. One of the things that I'm doing to 10x my business is I'm doing a video a day, at least 5 days a week. Why? Because it's going to grab more eyeballs. More people are going to go through my sales funnel. More people are going to see about my silver and gold company and what I do, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to make more dials. I committed to make at least 50 dials a day. I was doing like 20 before. So compete, get better, research, find out maybe what other people are doing. If you can apply that to what you're doing and you think it's going to be an advantage to help you out, add it. But compete. Always work to be number 1. We just had a Caribbean cruise. a global Caribbean cruise contest. I was #1 in the world. Why? Because I wanted to be #1. I wanted to compete. I love competing because the cream rises to the top when you compete, right? The people that truly, truly want it. So always be competing. #9, model success. Well, that's what we're doing here, isn't it? We're modeling success. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful people in the history of the world. You model those tips. You model the Bill Gates of the world, right? The Steve Jobs of the world, the Mark Cubans of the world, the Mother Teresas of the world, right? The Henry Fords of the world, and the Napoleon Hills of the world. You model success. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, guys. That's what's so beautiful about this. With Google and YouTube, you can really kind of hone in on what the successful people have done, model that, and man, you're going 60 miles an hour down the highway versus trying to figure it out on your own. That wheel's round already. You don't have to reinvent it, okay? And the 10th rule for success from Warren Buffett, which I love, is one of I think my favorite: give unconditional love. Guys, when you give back and give phenomenal love to others, whether it's your employees or your family or your friends, it comes back to you with a reverberated force. And when you give unconditional love, amazing things happen in your life, right? That's what we're here to do. That's what Warren Buffett talks about, giving back to others. And man, when you give unconditional love to people, to animals, to friends, to colleagues, you never have to worry at night, right? You can always sleep very peacefully because you know you're always doing your best to give the most love to that person. And I always talk about, I learned it from my mom, actually my mom-in-law. Whoever is in front of you at that time is your friend, right? And give them the most respect, the most love that you possibly can at that moment, and they'll never forget you. You'll change more lives than you could even ponder. People's lives that you've changed, and it's just a moment. Sometimes it's that hello, right, at the grocery store. Sometimes just that smile. Sometimes it's you're doing a phenomenal job. I'm just so grateful to have you on our team. Thank you for being my friend. You mean the world to me. You know, my mom has, sorry. My mom has stage 4 cancer. So I try to give as much unconditional love every day to her in the hospital that I can. And do that now. Don't wait. Don't wait. Okay? So I hope you guys love that list. It's a powerful list. That's from Warren Buffett, one of the greatest, most successful people of all time. And I think we can all take those and apply them into our daily strategy or daily life right now. And that's what I love. Taking tips, apply them right this second. And guys, I am the Gold and Silver Director North America for ISN. We are a 6-year-old mainstream full-service precious metals dealer out of Sarasota, Florida. We're a network marketing company, and we have a phenomenal home-based business opportunity in the best industry in the world, silver and gold. And it's a high 6-figure opportunity, guys. I'm the #1 performer in the world, #1 recruiter in the world. If you're interested in learning more about our home-based business opportunity, click on the link below in the description. Take the online tour, fill out the survey. Just takes a couple seconds, and I'll get hold of you. And looking forward to meeting you. Looking forward to getting to know you a little bit and talking about my company, ISN. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you loved it, give it a thumbs up. Please comment below. Keep the comments positive. If you haven't subscribed to my page, please subscribe. And if you could so kindly share this video with others in your different social media platforms, Facebook and Google Plus and Twitter and Pinterest and Tumblr, etc., I would appreciate it. Until next time, guys. Appreciate you. God bless you. Talk to you soon.